Hey guys, we're going to put this video on our fun parks and game centers playlist because that's sort of the closest we've got to what it is. It's called the Little World Museum of Man, and it's in Aichi Prefecture in central Japan. So it's sort of an interesting sort of idea. This is the exhibition hall, which is sort of what you'd expect of a museum. So it has, as you'll see, the evolution of the species, and they have some pretty interesting exhibits. They've obviously collected a lot of exhibits from around the world, so it is quite interesting. And then, as you'll see when we go outside, they then have a huge area across the top of a mountain that has lots of different country themed buildings, and most of which they've actually sourced from the original country and brought here, which, as you'll see, is pretty amazing too. So obviously this is more about the world, and it's more about mankind in general, so it's not really about Japan, but the reason we're showing you is because it's in Japan. And if we show you the place, then if you are visiting central Japan and you find this interesting, you might want to come here. Those of you who haven't noticed, on the English friendly directory we actually have a category for attractions and theme parks and things. So if you are visiting Japan and you want a bit of a heads up of what's interesting to look at, you might want to have a look at that and see what's in the areas you're going to. So those big maps sort of illustrating the movement of man from Africa across the earth. It's funny, technology they've called this one, which is sort of true, but of course it's ancient technology, so it's sort of interesting. Old cloth making techniques or clothes making techniques, old machines. So it's pretty amazing, just the volume of stuff that they've collected from all around the world. So there must have been a bunch of guys from the museum travelling the world just buying up all this stuff and bringing it back. And as you'll see, not just all this stuff, but actual buildings as well. They've brought back whole buildings from other parts of the world. Variety of abacus there from around the place. We've put this place on our English friendly directory, but we've only given it 1 star. Most of the English that they've used around the place is really just the titles, and that's quite common in Japan. You see that quite a lot. They'll label something, like in this case this area is called Society, but then the information, the actual information itself, is all in Japanese. So that's pretty common in Japan. Quite often the English titles are used sort of to make it look, who knows, interesting or modern or something. But then the essential information itself is all in Japanese. So we see that all the time. We've shown you lots of examples of that. So for that reason, we'll call them English friendly because you can go there and visit even if you can't speak Japanese, because you can go and buy your ticket and get in and walk around and see everything without using Japanese. So that's categorises it as English friendly as far as we're concerned, but we'll only give it 1 star because the English information that was there was really limited. It's an amazing room, isn't it? Oh, just a quick one too. We know there's a lot of people that watch our videos that are interested in wheelchair access and things like this. It seems that they didn't think about it when they designed the place, and this entrance is just a massive stairs, and they've added these ramps later on, and it's not real good. So if we were asked if this place is wheelchair friendly, we'd have to say not really. Not really, because there are ramps around the place, but a lot of the places that we went to, you couldn't get around with a wheelchair. We know that because we're pushing a stroller, and a lot of these places, including this one, that's a Japanese building there, that a lot of these places had gravel around them and stepping stones and things like that, that very difficult to get a stroller across them, so it would have been really hard to get a wheelchair around. So as you can see, there's a road that goes around and a bus that travels around. So you could see from the road, you could see these places, but to get in and actually look in through the window, or to actually walk around in here or wheel around in here, would be really difficult. So it's a bit of a shame. Japan's pretty good now. Most modern structures and modern places in Japan now are pretty well wheelchair accessible, but this place is a bit old. It's been around for probably 30 years or 40 years or something like that, and obviously when it was built, it just wasn't wheelchair friendly. So let's just keep in mind, all these buildings have been brought here, obviously destructed, and then brought here and rebuilt. This is a toilet, look at this. So it's obviously a bathing area for bathing there, and this little room's a toilet. Toilet, do not use. Fair enough, fair enough. A little bit Japanese style, put a foot either side there, of course. Anyway, there's that. So Taiwanese, wasn't it? It said on the sign, Taiwanese house. American. Couple of teepees. And the log house with a bit of Japanglish. Have a look down here. Pleasure chest. Right. Half that lake's got ice on it, you might have noticed. It was a bit of a cold day. Peru. This place is actually on a little mountain, not a big mountain, a little mountain near Inuyama. And Inuyama is near, there's a whole bunch of stuff near here. There's one of the best castles in Japan that we showed you, Inuyama Castle. And there is the monkey park that we've also showed you before, which is pretty good. And what else is there? A couple other places like that, little places to visit. So if you're around central Japan and you have some time, probably Inuyama's not a bad place to visit. barley. We'll put a link underneath this video to the listing on English Friendly Directory with a bit of access information and so on to help you find the place. So what they've done, not all the places, but a lot of them, like that one you saw there was the barley buildings, and then there was a little cafe that sold Balinese style food. So the Taiwanese one was the same, Taiwanese building and some Taiwanese food there, and then the Japanese one and some Japanese food. And so all the different countries as you go around, not all of them, but a lot of them have the place that you can look at, and then next to it they'll have some food from that country. And this was our favourite. This is Germany. And the reason it's our favourite is that they had really, really good German sausage, and they had really good German beer. So the German sausage and the German beer was just an awesome combination. It was really good. It was a pretty cold day, so some German sausage and some German beer was just the ticket. It was good. So until here, it's about halfway around. So it took about 4 hours or 5 hours, including stopping and eating, to get halfway around. So it'll be, if you want to see the whole place, it'll be a full day. Probably do the whole place in a day, but you need the whole day. It opens about 10 o'clock in the morning and closes 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you need to be there from opening time to closing time to see the whole thing. So we only made it halfway. It was just about closing time now. And the German place is halfway around, so very convenient for those of you who are into German sausage and German beer. Nummy num num. It was really good. So now we're actually in the bus. There's a bus that goes around, and there's different places on the route where you can catch it. So we've missed Africa, we missed China, we missed the Japan. There's a couple of Japan buildings. The first one we saw right at the start was Okinawa, and then there's another couple of Japanese buildings around here, and some Japanese food. There it is. So anyway, there it is. We figured we'd show you what it was about, and then you could decide for yourself, depending on how much time you have in Japan, if you think it's worthwhile visiting or not, spending a day visiting this place. By the time you travel to the place and then go around it, it would be a full day. And that's what you'd see. Anyway, there it was. More videos coming soon.